In a bustling town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a reclusive clockmaker named Alden. His workshop was a maze of gears, springs, and ticking clocks of all shapes and sizes. But amidst the ordinary timepieces, there was one that stood out, a massive, ornate clock known as the Eternal Timekeeper. It was said to be his masterpiece, a clock so powerful it could control time itself. No one knew how Alden had created it, and he never spoke of its origins. The villagers whispered that it was cursed, for Alden's once joyful demeanour had turned cold and distant. He rarely left his workshop, and the clock's ominous ticking could be heard even from the town square. The stranger's bargain. One stormy evening, a hooded stranger entered Alden's shop. He carried an air of authority, his voice smooth and deliberate. "Alden," the man said, "I've come for the Eternal Timekeeper." Alden's hands trembled as he adjusted the gears of a small clock. "It's not for sale." The stranger smiled. "I don't wish to buy it. I've come to make you an offer. You've grown weary of your solitude, haven't you? I can give you what you desire most, freedom from your burden." Alden looked up sharply. "How do you know about the curse?" The stranger leaned closer. "The clock holds more than time. It binds you, doesn't it? I can take the burden away." Alden hesitated. The Eternal Timekeeper was not just a clock. It was a gateway to manipulate time, but its power came at a cost. Each time Alden used it, he lost a fragment of himself. His memories had grown hazy, his emotions muted, yet he feared what might happen if it fell into the wrong hands. "Leave," Alden said, his voice firm. "The clock stays with me." The stranger's smile faded, and his eyes glinted with malice. "Very well, but you cannot stop time from unravelling." The clock's warning. That night, as Alden worked late, the Eternal Timekeeper began to tick louder than usual. Its hands moved erratically, and a soft voice echoed from its gears. "Alden," it whispered, "the stranger seeks to corrupt time itself. If he gains control, the past, present, and future will become his to command." Alden clenched his fists. "Then how do I stop him?" The clock's hands stilled, pointing to midnight. "You must go where time begins and ends." Before Alden could question the cryptic message, the room dissolved around him, and he found himself standing in a vast, swirling void. It was the realm of time, a place where moments flickered like stars, and threads of reality intertwined. The trials of time. In the realm of time, Alden faced 3 trials. The first was the River of Regrets, where he saw visions of his past, his joyful days as a young clockmaker, the love he had lost, and the moment he had bound himself to the Eternal Timekeeper to save the town from a catastrophic flood. The river tried to pull him in, but Alden resisted, whispering, "The past cannot bind me. I move forward." The second trial was the storm of possibilities, where countless futures swirled around him, each more tempting than the last. Wealth, fame, and happiness danced before his eyes. But Alden saw the chaos that uncontrolled time would bring, and held firm. "The future is not mine to control," he said. "It must unfold naturally." Finally, Alden reached the Chamber of Paradox, where he confronted the stranger. The man stood by a giant hourglass, its sands flowing upward. "You could have joined me," the stranger said. "Together, we could reshape time, undo every mistake, erase every sorrow." Alden shook his head. "Time's purpose is not to be rewritten. It is to be lived. The stranger sneered and unleashed a storm of fragmented time. But Alden raised the Eternal Timekeeper. Its hands spun rapidly, creating a shield of light that absorbed the chaos. The hourglass shattered, and the stranger vanished into the void. The Clockmaker's redemption. The realm of time began to crumble, and Alden found himself back in his workshop. The Eternal Timekeeper now ticked softly, its glow dimmed but peaceful. Alden felt a weight lift from his soul. The curse was broken. The next morning, the villagers noticed a change. Alden's shop was open, and he greeted them with a warm smile. Though he still crafted clocks, he no longer sought to control time. Instead, he focused on helping others appreciate the moments they had. Moral of the story: time is not meant to be controlled or rewritten. It is a gift to be cherished, with all its imperfections. True freedom comes not from changing the past or future, but from embracing the present. And so, the story of Alden, the clockmaker who saved time itself, became a timeless legend, reminding all who heard it to live fully in the moment they have.